walk around it, walk underneath it, have a look. If he's not happy, simple, don't go on it. Ring the builder, say, I'm here to do your job, but I'm not getting on the scaffold because it's not safe. Ring the scaffolding company, get someone out here to fix it. And if everyone does that, well, all the scaffold will be done properly. Once we're requested to do a scaffolding, we draw up a scaffold plan, we erect it. Completion of erection, we take photos of the scaffold. If there's any problems later on, we can say, here's the photos, this is how we put the scaffold up. We give them a handover certificate and a scaff tag is signed and left on site. Most of our builders, we do a scaffold report where we go around every 2 weeks. We see there's a fault with the scaffold, we send them off a certificate saying what's wrong with it, and we rectify it. We also do a monthly report where on the back of the scaff tag we go out and sign it and make sure everything's all right. Then we don't have to report that to the builder, because unless there's something major wrong with it, we'll let them know with our report that we send anyway.
It really doesn't matter what type of scaffolding that's been altered or maintained. Any scaffold should only be maintained by an appropriately qualified person. If the scaffold's been put up by a qualified scaffold company or a qualified person or a different supplier, you must ensure that that person is fully consulted prior to any alterations taking place, so that any alterations are approved.
Site management should keep a log of all alterations. Upon completion of any major alteration, a new handover certificate must be issued. The scaffold must be re-inspected and the scaff tags updated.
In the event that someone questions the removal or the alteration of a scaffold, we always consult the scaffolding company first. For example, we have rendering taking place on the level below. The renderers give us an idea of what they need done. The scaffolder comes in.
After consultation with the scaffold company, a replacement tie must be installed in another position to maintain the integrity of the scaffold. Then, any ties that hinder the other trades can be removed.
The renderers do their job, and the following morning they come back and alternate those props to suit their work.
If a scaffold becomes damaged in any way and it requires immediate attention, you do not need to necessarily contact the owner or the scaffolders that erected that scaffold to rectify this situation. If it's a health and safety issue, it needs to be addressed immediately. If you've got the qualifications, you can modify that scaffold and make that scaffold safe.
It's advisable and good practice to then go back to the company who erected the scaffold for a new inspection and a new handover certificate. Key points to remember regarding scaffold modification are: the scaffold supply company or the scaffold designer should be consulted prior to and after any alterations. Any alteration without site management approval should be strictly forbidden. Alterations to a scaffold from which a person or materials could fall more than 4 metres should only be made by a licensed scaffolder. And, upon completion of a major alteration such as the addition of an extra bay or lift, another handover certificate must be issued to the builder. Great risks are involved in working at heights. Everyone needs to be constantly vigilant of the dangers. The sound protection provided by well-erected scaffolding needs to be constantly reinforced by inspections, carried out on a daily basis or immediately following any extreme weather. A checklist available from the scaffolding supplier or of a type provided by the Master Builders Association can be used for this purpose. On domestic sites, anyone using a scaffold should carry out an inspection prior to commencing work. If you're concerned that the scaffold is not safe, don't use it. Site management has the responsibility to manage the scaffold and ensure it remains safe. Advice on the modification of an existing scaffold should also be sought from the scaffolding designer. Through site inductions and toolbox talks, workers using scaffolding need to be made aware of the load limitations, correct work practices, and modification procedures. Adherence to these work practices must be ensured by the builder or site manager. Remember, your life or those of others depends on it. Scaffolding.